My wife cheated on me with my childhood best friend. It all started so subtly. I never thought I'd be the guy writing something like this. I always used to scroll past these posts, thinking, damn, that sucks. Glad it's not me. Well, here I am. It is me. And it's worse than I ever imagined. Let me start from the beginning. We used to be a tight-knit group, me, my wife, let's call her Nina, my best friend, Adam, and his wife. Our families did everything together. Backyard BBQs, double-date dinners, movie nights, even vacations. Adam and I have known each other since we were 6. He was more than a friend, he was like a brother. The guy who stood by me at my wedding. The one who helped me build the crib for our daughter. I would have taken a bullet for him. At first, it was the usual stuff. Nina would joke about how Adam spoiled his wife. Look at that necklace she's wearing, she said once, while we were out at dinner. Why don't you ever buy me anything like that? She laughed when she said it, but the look she gave me. It wasn't a joke. I brushed it off. We weren't struggling, but I wasn't throwing thousands around either. Adam made more money, I knew that. But Nina started pointing it out all the time. The gifts. The fancy dinners. The weekend getaways. Why can't you be more like Adam, she said one night, not even hiding her contempt. At first, I thought she was just going through a phase. Maybe feeling unappreciated, maybe needing more affection. I tried harder. I took her out more. Bought her earrings she had hinted at. Wrote her a damn letter for our anniversary like some Nicholas Sparks character. Nothing changed. If anything, she got colder. Harsher. More distant. Then, it got weird. When we'd all hang out together, I started noticing things. Subtle stuff. She'd laugh at everything Adam said, even the stupidest jokes. She'd touch his arm while talking. She stopped sitting next to me. She started wearing dresses she never wore for me. Once, I caught her staring at him when he was carrying some boxes, this look I can't even describe. Hunger. Admiration. It made my stomach twist. Then came the vacation. We rented a beach house, all 4 of us, just like old times. That's when everything started falling apart, fast. That night, we had wine, grilled some seafood, played cards. I tried to shake off the tension I was feeling. I thought maybe I was paranoid. Maybe I was being insecure. But then I saw it. Nina hugged Adam for way too long, longer than any family friend hug should ever be. She kissed him on the cheek and held him there. Her hands lingered on his back like she forgot I was even in the room. Then they disappeared. They said they were taking a walk down the beach. No big deal, right? Except they were gone for almost an hour. When they came back, her hair was a mess, lipstick smudged, and Adam wouldn't meet my eyes. That was the night everything broke in me. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't breathe. My mind raced with every horrible possibility. I told myself I needed to be sure before accusing anyone of anything. But I already knew. I caught them. Not just in my head, for real. After that beach trip, something inside me snapped. I didn't say anything that night. I just watched. Observed. Every smile. Every look. Every moment she leaned a little too close to him and pulled away from me. I wasn't going to be the clueless husband in some sad story. No. If this was happening, if she was really cheating on me with him, I was going to know. And I was going to catch them. So I started paying attention. Really paying attention. When we got back from vacation, Nina got even weirder. She became obsessed with her phone. She'd never cared about screen privacy before, now it was password protected, always flipped face down, and suddenly had the battery life of a 90s Nokia. She started going out more. Spa days, girls' nights, I'm just going to run a quick errand. And Adam? He got more distant. Didn't text as much. Stopped dropping by like he used to. But when he did come over, he couldn't look me in the eye. His laughter was forced. His visits short. I knew something was up, but I needed proof. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I went through her phone when she was in the shower. And yeah, I know. Invasion of privacy. Trust issues. But guess what? You don't owe someone loyalty when they're already destroying yours behind your back. I didn't find anything in her messages, she was too smart for that. But what she didn't delete were the photos. There were selfies. Of her and Adam. At a bar. At a restaurant I'd never even heard her mention. At the same beach house, just the two of them. Her sitting in his lap. One with his hand on her thigh. One with her kissing his neck. One of them in bed together, smiling like teenagers. My heart stopped. I couldn't breathe. My fingers went numb. I felt like I was watching someone else's life implode. But it was mine. That night, I didn't say a word. I closed her phone, put it back where it was, and acted like everything was normal. I kissed her goodnight. She smiled at me like she wasn't the coldest, cruelest person I'd ever loved. Like she hadn't already left me, emotionally and physically. I stayed up all night planning. I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to scream. I was going to end this with control. On my terms. The next morning, I filed for divorce. I didn't tell her right away. I wanted to wait, to let things unfold. I needed to know how far they were willing to go with their lies. I started gathering more evidence, more photos, tracking her errands. I even had a friend in tech help me pull messages she had tried to wipe. Spoiler, she wasn't just talking to Adam. She was complaining about me to him. Telling him how emotionally unavailable I was, how she felt trapped, how she couldn't wait to be with him without all the sneaking around. She lied to my face every day. Slept in my bed, kissed my daughter goodnight, and then snuck out to screw my best friend. The worst part? Adam was still calling me bro, still acting like everything was cool. The mask was about to come off. I had a plan. And I was going to break them both. I set the trap, and she fell right into it. After filing for divorce, quietly, without her knowing yet, I played the long game. I didn't confront her. I didn't cry. I didn't rage. I became calm. Almost cold. Because I needed to be sharp for what came next. You see, if Nina wanted to keep playing this sick little game with Adam, I was going to give her every opportunity to think she was winning. And then I'd make her choke on the truth. I started by being the perfect husband. I cooked dinner more often. I brought her flowers. I asked her about her day and actually listened, pretending I gave a damn. I even offered to plan a weekend getaway, just the two of us, to reconnect. She declined, of course. Something about needing space. Right. What she actually needed was another girls' night, which somehow always ended at Adam's place. My friend Jake, who owed me more favors than I could count, followed her that night and sent me the pictures. You know what's messed up? She didn't even try to hide it. She walked right into Adam's building, kissed him in the hallway like we didn't have a child at home, like I didn't exist. When she got home at 1:30 a.m., she smelled like cheap perfume and cheap lies. I was sitting on the couch pretending to watch Netflix, and she kissed me on the head like she hadn't just been with him. That was the moment I snapped inside, but I didn't show it. Not yet. The trap was already set. The following week, I suggested we host a dinner at our place. Just like old times. Both families. I said it would be good for us. She smiled, fake as hell, and agreed. Adam was hesitant at first. I could tell through the texts I was intercepting. Yeah, I had software running on both our phones now, but she convinced him. She always got what she wanted. Until now. So they came. Adam, his wife, their kids. The whole crew. Everyone brought something, laughed, drank wine, like this wasn't a horror show in disguise. Nina looked radiant that night, new dress, heels, makeup done like we were still in the honeymoon phase. But it wasn't for me. It was for him. I watched her like a hawk. She barely looked at me. Kept drifting toward Adam, whispering in his ear, brushing her hand on his arm. She kissed him on the cheek when no one else was looking, except I was. My blood boiled, but I smiled through it. And then, right after dessert, she made her move. "I'm going to show Adam the new patio lights," she said casually, already walking outside. I followed, silently, through the side door. They didn't see me. They were too busy pressed up against the side of the house. His hands on her waist. Her mouth on his. I took photos. Videos. Everything. Then I stepped forward and said one word. "Smile." They froze like teenagers caught in a lie. Adam stammered. Nina spun around, face pale, lips still wet from kissing the man I once called brother. "You were supposed to be inside," she whispered. "You were supposed to be my wife," I said. Then I held up the phone. "Got everything I need." She lost it. Screaming. Crying. Saying it wasn't what it looked like, that it was a mistake. Adam looked like a kid who just pissed himself in church. His wife came out a minute later, and I made sure she saw it all. Cue chaos. Yelling. Tears. Slaps. Adam's wife stormed off with their kids. Nina tried to come after me, but I was done. "Save your tears," I told her. "You'll need them for court." Because oh yes, I was going to burn everything down. Everything came crashing down, and she still tried to lie. The night of the dinner ended like a war zone. Adam's wife, let's call her Rachel, peeled out of the driveway with their kids, screaming through tears. She saw the photos. Saw the kiss. Saw Nina clinging to Adam like her life depended on it. The betrayal on Rachel's face. I'll never forget it. She didn't just lose her husband, she lost her friend. Her confidant. The woman she used to share wine nights and parenting struggles with. Nina ran after me, barefoot, mascara streaked down her cheeks, shouting, "It wasn't what it looked like, and, please, let me explain." Explain what? That she'd been screwing my best friend behind my back while telling me I wasn't good enough. That she'd torn our family apart and didn't even have the decency to hide it well. I slammed the door in her face. She stood out there for 10 minutes, crying into the night. I didn't care. I felt nothing for her anymore, just disgust. You know what's wild? When I walked back inside, I found the wine bottle half full, still on the table, next to the candles she lit like we were some happy, blended family. The next day, I served her the divorce papers. She acted shocked. Shocked. Like she hadn't seen it coming. Like she wasn't practically begging for it with every lie, every sneaky text, every time she slipped into that red dress and went shopping. Then came the gaslighting. She said I was overreacting. That it only happened once. Lie. She said I pushed her away. That I never made her feel special anymore. That Adam just understood her. Nah. What Adam understood was betrayal. And what Nina did was cowardice, dressed up as victimhood. I showed her the pictures. The texts. The timeline. Everything I had gathered. And you know what she did? She denied it. Stared me in the face and said, "You must have edited those." Edited. The photos. I almost laughed. That's when it really hit me, she wasn't just selfish. She was delusional. She couldn't face the monster she'd become, so she twisted the truth into whatever shape let her sleep at night. Too bad for her, I wasn't playing along. I sent the evidence to my lawyer. I forwarded the photos and texts to Rachel too. She deserved to know the full extent. Turns out, Adam and Nina had been meeting in hotels since last year. Sometimes even in my own damn house when I was at work. But guess what? Karma showed up fast. Rachel filed for divorce the next day. She took the kids, froze the bank accounts, and kicked Adam out. Last I heard, he was sleeping on his brother's couch, job hanging by a thread because Rachel's dad is his boss, a detail Nina clearly forgot to calculate when she was grinding on him like a high school groupie. And Nina? She's been spiraling. Crying. Threatening to hurt herself if I don't give her another chance. Suddenly I'm the love of her life again. Suddenly, she wants to go to therapy. Says we can rebuild. Nah. I'm done being the safety net for someone who lit my world on fire and danced in the ashes. She made her bed. And she's gonna lie in it, alone. She tried to ruin me after I exposed her. After serving her the divorce papers, I thought the worst was over. It wasn't. Turns out, when you cut off a narcissist's supply, they don't just accept it. They explode. Nina went from crocodile tears to full-on nuclear in 24 hours. The shift was insane. 1 minute she was crying in the kitchen, begging me to remember our vows, the next she was screaming that I was abusive, that I neglected her, and that I drove her to cheat. Classic. But then she took it even further. She tried to ruin me. It started with small things. She accidentally told mutual friends that I was emotionally unstable. Said I might be dangerous. That I was paranoid and controlling. She told people I had anger issues. All lies. Manipulative, calculated lies. But I had receipts. I sent the group chat the texts. The pictures. The timeline. Every single betrayal. Guess how many people took her side? Exactly 0. That's when she escalated, again. She showed up at my work. Middle of the day, completely unannounced. Stormed into the building crying, causing a scene in the lobby like I was some deadbeat dad in a bad soap opera. My boss called me into his office thinking someone had died. I had to walk her out in front of half the staff. She was screaming about how I was throwing our life away, and how I wouldn't even try to forgive her. Lady. You had another man in our bed. You don't come back from that. Then she tried to use our daughter against me. She started saying things like, maybe she should stay with me until you calm down, painting herself like the stable parent to everyone who would listen. But here's the thing, I had already filed for joint custody, and I had proof that she was sneaking around, being dishonest, and emotionally unstable. You want to know what her reaction was when my lawyer confronted her with all of this? She broke down sobbing in mediation and accused Adam of leading her on. Oh, now he was the villain. She said she didn't even want it to go that far, and that he manipulated her because he was jealous of our marriage. I almost choked. So let me get this straight. My best friend of 20 years seduced you and ruined our lives by force, but you kept going back for more for a whole year? Make it make sense. The crazy part? Adam didn't even defend her. He ghosted. No messages. No calls. Nothing. When she tried reaching out, he blocked her. Rachel was dragging him through hell and she was not playing. Alimony. Custody. Asset division. The works. He lost everything. Meanwhile, Nina was unraveling. I started getting texts at 2 a.m. Asterisk, do you still think about me? Asterisk, I miss your touch. Asterisk, I didn't mean to hurt you. I was just broken. And then. Asterisk, if I can't have you, I don't want to live. Yeah. That happened. I had to call her sister and let her know what was going on. CPS got involved for a minute. It was ugly. She backed off after that, but the damage was done. She wasn't trying to fix things. She was trying to control the fallout. But I wasn't giving in. I had my daughter, I had my sanity, and I had the truth on my side. And Nina? She had a mattress on the floor at her sister's house and a broken reputation she built all by herself. The fake pregnancy. Yes, really. Just when I thought things might finally quiet down, Nina went full soap opera. It had been a few weeks since the last meltdown. I had majority custody of our daughter, Nina was crashing at her sister's place, and Adam had disappeared like the rat he is. Last I heard he moved out of state, to clear his head. Coward. Anyway, things were finally starting to feel normal. Until I got a text from Nina. It just said, "We need to talk. It's important." I ignored it. She followed up with, "Please, this affects all of us." Still ignored it. She called. I didn't pick up. And then she hit me with the bomb. "I'm pregnant." I sat there staring at my phone like it had just slapped me. There was no way. We hadn't slept together in months. I'd been careful. Smart. Focused. There was no chance in hell it was mine. So, I responded. "Congrats. Tell Adam." She replied almost instantly. "It's not his. It's yours. Please don't shut me out. Bitch." She really thought she could use a fake baby to reel me back in. I didn't even respond after that. Just forwarded the messages straight to my lawyer. He laughed and said, "We've hit the Lifetime movie phase, huh? You'd think that would be the end of it. But no. Nina started telling people, mutual friends, her sister, even Rachel, that we were working on things, and that we had a baby on the way. She tried to guilt-trip Rachel into calling off her divorce so the kids could grow up together. Manipulation level, master gaslighter. Luckily, no one bought it. Rachel called me right away like, "Did you knock her up or is she hallucinating again?" I told her the truth. Rachel just laughed and said, "Good. Because if you ever touched that demon again, I'd beat you myself." Then she blocked Nina on everything. But Nina wouldn't quit. She started posting cryptic stories on social media with captions like, *, "Some people walk away when you need them most. Broken heart. *, "This baby will have more love than hate, even if it's just me flexed biceps baby. *, "Growth through pain dizzy dove." She even posted an ultrasound. Stock image from Google. I reverse searched it. I kid you not. I confronted her in mediation and said flat out, "I know you're not pregnant. You're not fooling anyone." She screamed. Right there in front of the lawyers. Full breakdown. Accused me of being heartless, said I wasn't there for her when she needed me most, and that I wouldn't understand because I was never emotionally available. Her lawyer looked mortified. Mine leaned over and said, "This is great for us." After that, she disappeared for a few days. No calls. No texts. Not even her usual passive-aggressive drama. I almost felt relief. Until her sister called me at 10 p.m. Nina's saying she had a miscarriage. Of course she is. I kept it respectful, said sorry for her loss, but let her sister know I never believed she was pregnant in the first place. Her sister sighed and said, "Honestly, I don't either." Turns out, this wasn't the first time Nina faked a pregnancy. Just the first time she tried to use it to trap someone post-divorce. So here I was. Standing in the middle of this flaming circus of lies and emotional terrorism, and the only thing I could think was, she's not done. There was still one final card she hadn't played. And when she played it, she almost destroyed everything I had left. She tried to take my daughter from me. I should have seen it coming. After the fake pregnancy and the staged miscarriage, Nina went quiet. Too quiet. For a while, I actually thought maybe, just maybe, she'd finally accepted it was over. She hadn't. What she was doing during those silent weeks? Plotting. One morning, I got an email from my lawyer. Subject line: Emergency custody filing, urgent review. I opened it. Nina was filing for full custody of our daughter. Not joint. Full. And the allegations? Absolute fiction. She claimed I was emotionally abusive, that I had violent outbursts, that I had isolated her and our child, and, get this, that I had refused to let her parent. I read the whole thing 3 times in disbelief. She was trying to paint me as unstable, dangerous, unfit. The same woman who faked a pregnancy with a stock ultrasound. The same woman who got caught cheating in our vacation home. The same woman who'd had public breakdowns and 2 a.m. screaming matches in my driveway. Now suddenly she was concerned for our daughter's well-being. I was pissed. But more than that, I was scared. Because the court system doesn't always care about what's true. It cares about what you can prove. Luckily, I had been smart from the beginning. I kept asterisk screenshots of every crazy message. Asterisk video from the Ring cam of her screaming at my door. Asterisk texts from her sister apologizing for Nina's behavior. Asterisk photos of our kid happy, healthy, and safe at my place, doing homework, having playdates, going to school. I handed it all over to my lawyer. We prepped for war. When the court date came, Nina showed up wearing white. White. Like she was the Virgin Mary coming to save her child from the evil ex. She put on a performance worthy of an Oscar, tears, trembling voice, the whole, concerned mother, routine. She said she feared I was unpredictable. She claimed our daughter had expressed discomfort. She even brought a friend to testify, one of the same friends she lied to during her fake pregnancy phase. And then we presented our side. The receipts. The breakdowns. The stalking. The attempt to manipulate me using a child who hadn't even been conceived. The evidence that she'd abandoned our daughter for days at a time to go play house with Adam. Her performance unraveled fast. The judge took one look at our stack of documented insanity and said, and I quote, "I'm not sure why we're even entertaining this." She lost. Hard. Custody stayed exactly how it was, 70/30ths. With me being the primary caregiver. When we walked out, she tried to corner me in the parking lot, saying, "I didn't mean to hurt you, I just wanted to feel important again." No. You wanted to win. You didn't care about her, our daughter, you cared about control. And that's when I realized, Nina never loved me. She loved what I gave her. Security. Image. The illusion of a perfect life. When that fell apart, so did she. She didn't want to fix it. She wanted to burn it down, and blame me for the ashes. Karma finally showed up with receipts. After Nina's custody stunt blew up in her face, you'd think she'd cool down. Nope. She got quiet again. And by now, I knew that silence from Nina didn't mean peace, it meant she was resetting the chaos machine. But this time, it wasn't me she focused on. It was Adam. She must have realized I was done, truly, finally done, and there was no reeling me back in. So she shifted all that desperate, obsessive energy onto him. Except Adam. He was already drowning. Remember when I said Rachel's dad was his boss? Yeah, well, turns out Rachel wasn't bluffing when she said she'd destroy him. Word got around their company fast, people found out about the affair, the hotel receipts, the whole betrayal. He wasn't fired directly, but he was iced out. Projects reassigned. Clients pulled. Dead weight. He left the job 2 weeks after the custody hearing. Nina showed up at his place, his new apartment 2 cities away, banging on his door at 1 a.m., crying, saying she left everything for him. That she chose him. That they were meant to be. He called the cops on her. Let me repeat that, Adam, the guy she cheated with, called the cops on her. The same man who betrayed me like a brother turning Judas, was now afraid of the monster he helped create. Poetic. But the best part? Rachel didn't just stop at taking the kids and the house. She sued him for everything she was owed, and then some. Got alimony. Got child support. Froze his assets while the divorce finalized. She even made sure the court got hold of the hotel records. You know, the ones Nina never deleted from the shared card. Guess what that means? Nina might be liable too. Yep. Adultery with financial impact during a marriage, Rachel's lawyer smelled blood in the water. Now Nina's being legally reviewed for her role in the whole affair mess. Her sister told me she's freaking out, pacing the house, snapping at everyone, blaming Adam, saying, he promised me things would be different. He didn't even return her calls. So now she's burned every bridge. Asterisk her marriage. Gone. Asterisk the man she cheated with. Ghosted. Asterisk her reputation. Ruined. Asterisk her own family. Embarrassed by her. And me? I'm still standing. Stronger. Calmer. Focused on being a dad, rebuilding my peace, and never, ever, letting anyone like her close again. And let me tell you, for the first time in a long time, I don't feel angry. I feel free. But we're not quite done yet. There's one last chapter to all this. One last twist I didn't see coming. Because just when I thought the fire was out, she tried to come back. She tried to come back like nothing happened. It had been months. Months since the custody fight. Months since her fake pregnancy circus. Months since Adam slammed the door in her face and called the cops. I was living my life. My daughter was thriving. I even started seeing someone new, nothing serious yet, but the peace. Unmatched. Then she texted me out of nowhere. Hey, do you think we could meet? Just to talk. It's important. I left it on read. So she emailed. Then called. Then messaged me on LinkedIn. Like, how desperate do you have to be to hit someone up on a job networking site? Eventually, I got a voicemail. She was crying again. Said she was in therapy. Said she was working on herself. Said she realized she'd made mistakes. She wanted to start fresh, to maybe rebuild something. She even threw in the classic. I'll always love you, you were my soulmate. Ma'am. You gave my best friend a blowjob on vacation while our daughter was building sandcastles. We're so far past soulmate territory, we're practically in purgatory. I didn't respond. Didn't engage. Blocked her on every platform again. And you know what? That was the final nail. Because after that, I started hearing from other people. Friends. Family. Even her own sister. They said Nina was unraveling. Not in the dramatic, performative way she used to, no more crocodile tears or fainting couch energy. This time it was sad. Real. She'd pushed everyone away. No job. No friends. No Adam. Her social media was gone. She was, according to her sister, finally facing the wreckage. And for 1 second, one brief second, I felt bad for her. Then I remembered the gaslighting. The lying. The cheating. The smear campaigns. The threats. The manipulation. The trauma she put me and my daughter through. I didn't owe her sympathy. I owed myself freedom. So I kept moving. I kept showing up for my kid. I kept going to work. Kept healing. Kept growing. And for once, she couldn't stop it. She lost her grip on my life. And I wasn't ever letting her back in. The end. And the beginning. It's been over a year now. A year since I walked away from the wreckage of my marriage. A year since the betrayal. Since the fake pregnancy, the custody war, the lies, the courtroom drama, the emotional blackmail. Since I found out my best friend wasn't a friend at all. And guess what? I'm good. Not sad anymore, good. Like, actually good. I've got full custody now. Nina sees our daughter every other weekend, supervised. After the court saw what she pulled, even they were done with her. My daughter? She's doing amazing. Grades up. Sleeping better. Laughs more. The anxiety she used to carry, the constant tension in her little body, it's gone. She finally feels safe again. And me? I'm in therapy. I go to the gym. I read. I cook. I have friends again, real friends. Not the flaky, fake ones who disappeared when things got ugly. The ones who stayed. The ones who showed up. There's someone new in my life. She's kind. Gentle. Doesn't play games. Doesn't compare me to anyone. Doesn't expect me to be a wallet or a doormat. Just, a man. A human. And that's all I ever wanted. As for Nina. She's quiet these days. Still lives with her sister. Doesn't have a job. I don't know much else, and honestly, I don't need to. She doesn't get to live in my head anymore. Adam? No one talks to him. Rachel rebuilt her life from the ground up and she's happier than I've ever seen her. Their kids are doing well. She even reached out and thanked me for staying honest, said it gave her the strength to leave too. That meant a lot. Because this story, it wasn't about revenge. It wasn't about exposing anyone or proving anything. It was about survival. About choosing myself. About choosing my daughter. About walking through hell and not letting it turn me into something bitter. There were days I thought I wouldn't make it. Days where I hated myself for not seeing it sooner. For trusting people who didn't deserve it. For loving someone who used that love like a weapon. But I made it. And if you're reading this because you've been through something like it, or you're in it, just know. You'll make it too. You'll rebuild. You'll find peace again. And someday, you'll wake up and realize. She doesn't matter anymore. Not really. Because the story didn't end with her. It started with you. The end. Thanks for riding this emotional roller coaster with me.